Good afternoon. It's May 23rd, 2023, and today we just had two legs down. Um, you can see we went a little beyond the two legs, and we've just been going sideways since then. Uh, so let's take a look at the trades. This is a pretty common pattern I've seen. So I've been looking at these charts for 3 years, and I would guess I've seen this exact pattern where you get a leg down, this sideways, and another leg down. Um, Between 10 and 30 times. I don't know how many, but I've seen it quite a bit. Just wanted to note that. Okay, yeah, so this one right here. This was 5 o'clock, 5:50, 5:50. So I'm marking it red, but it looks a little congestive. It's a bit confusing to feel confident, but it is a second entry confirming that key entry point. So I got to mark it red, and that's the first trade of the day. You get this hidden second entry. Maybe you take that, maybe you take the lower high. Only problem is you get that lower high, it looks like you're going into a midline, and that's pretty much what it turns out. And this was a common thing all day, these prices hitting this midline of the leg of correction. We'll see it a little later on. So anyway, you get this leg, of correction, and then you get this leg of correction, but this one's a little larger, as you can see. It's not letting me enlarge it, but you can see that we get a break and move to a new high, and we go sideways. We get a second entry short that's also like a double or triple test. You can see a lot of people like that one. And then we're just going sideways. This does have an upward bias to it. You can see later we get confirmation. This channel up. Here you're right at, man, this one's kind of tempting, and this one's really tempting. Look how bullish this leg up is. So I mean, I'm expecting a move to a new high. Maybe you take this one, because it also looks like we're at a level of previous support. So I mean, you might consider it. Come back up to the highs, test these highs, and you get a first entry, failed second entry. This one I like. We just came off the resistance, and if you look at the daily chart, all day prices looked like we were getting a lower high back into this range. So the bias was down. I like this one. Near the highs, good signal bar. And then you get what looks like a two-legged correction to this trend channel, and confirmation of this channel. So a lot of room back to the EMA. I like that, but it takes a while. If you were going for 8 ticks, I don't know how long it took if you were going for 4. Takes a while, and we just chop sideways. This one, you might consider this one, but we're just making, problem is we're making higher highs and lows, and it's just not easy to take that, really. But when we get the double test and then this lower high, very bearish, I like that one. And that starts the downward move. You get a second entry short here, but you're going into this level of support, so I'm not crazy about that one. But that does end up being a trend channel. We drop down, form this this level, this range, breaks out, fails, tests the midline, goes a little lower, and then we get this leg of correction and 2 legs of correction in that before 2 legs up to a new high, and then you get this lower high. I think you have to take that. First of all, it's a second entry, so lower high. It's a lower high, very bearish. We just broke out to the low side. You have a break of this channel and a move to a new high, so it's all played out. I think you have to take this one, and a lot of people like that. It's also at the top of this potential range or level, price level. You're going to see a lot of people like that. Then we get this move up, move to a new high, a couple legs of correction, really 1 leg of correction and some sideways stuff. We find support at that midline, bounce, and then you get a second entry that confirms this trend channel. And then you technically get a failure, but it's not a great setup. But that, starts a really steep move down. That's an overshoot of this channel. We get this nice trap here. So let's take a look at this, because this is a very strong move down. So, I mean, first of all, yes, you get an overshoot of this channel. But with such a bearish move, it's, there are reasons to want to continue considering going short. However, you can see this swing above the EMA, this swing above the EMA, this swing above the EMA. So there are signs that you do want to be careful. And what happens here is we get a first entry, second entry, but it's all within this trend channel. And that's pretty clear. It's pretty clear that this is a trend channel. So that's why this one fails. There's several reasons. So then we get the break, move to a new high, and then it sells off and goes sideways. And we have this range formed from this leg of correction. And yeah, you're just going sideways. And we finally get the break of this channel after a bounce off that midline. And they trap some more people with a second entry short right there. I'm seeing that now. And maybe you take this one. We get the break, and then you get this lower high. And nice little sell off right there, but we're just about at market close. So get a break, move to a new low. It's just going sideways. So that's how I saw it. Today's one of those days, man, where it was just it was all adding up. It just seemed to make so much sense why prices were doing what they were doing. We had this leg down in the overnight, this range with a slight upward bias, but it keeps hitting this level of resistance. On the daily chart, it's a lower high back into the range. So, expecting this second leg down was pretty obvious. So I hope everyone had a great day. I'll be back tomorrow.